Good morning everyone, I'm curious, according to you, what does every photographer in this world struggle with? As promised, I'm taking you today to Winter Wonderland for photographers because according to me, what photographers all around the world struggle the most with is gear addiction. No matter what kind of photographer you are, I'm pretty sure you're always eyeing on some new gear, on an older lens, a retro lens, a new lens, anything. And today I'm taking you to Winter Wonderland. Simply, I call it that way because it is one of the biggest camera stores in this world. It's right behind me. It's here in Tokyo, Japan. It's called Yodobashi, and I'm super excited to go explore what kind of new cameras they have, what kind of new lens system, what we can see, all that. So, are you ready? 9 floors of just electronics here. It's kind of crazy. We're gonna go to the 3rd floor, which has all the camera stuff. Any Leica fans here? They're so expensive and I've never even tried them ever. This is something I gotta try one day. I don't know how you feel about bodies like that, like this one, but I'm always confused because I have no grip on it and it's slightly a struggle for me. Look at those lenses. Oh my god, look at that. That is massive. Can I put the Sony on that Canon one? 600mm f1.4. That's a 400mm f1.8. That's so big, it's crazy. What is that? Tokina. I'm not a big fan of Tokina. Any Tokina fans here? What I want to see is really Sigma lenses. I'm not sure if they have it yet for Sony. We'll see. You want to know what my favorite lens has been so far? I'm gonna tell you. It was this 35mm 1.4 from Sigma. It's so, I just love the shots I was getting with it on my Nikon. Really nice. So I'm super excited because Sigma has announced that they're gonna release the Sony versions of their lenses. Some people were complaining about the design that looked a bit like rough, but we'll see when it comes out. We don't even know about the price as I'm speaking of, so I'm kind of curious to see all that, and just want to show you those lenses again. They're so big. I love it. I gotta say, before I got my Sony A7R3, I looked at the D850, that one, but the body felt a bit too big in my opinion, and also, how do you call that? Also, it's super heavy. If I have it in my hand with a small lens right now, 60mm 2.8, and it feels like super massive. It feels very massive. I like their menus and everything, but it's almost as big as a 1DX, so I was thinking then I would just get a Canon 1DX. Where would I get that? The only real pull-through was that I had the glass, I had my 7200 2.8, I had everything. I made the right choice. This is like way smaller. I really like it. Look at that Sony. What do we have here? 85mm 1.4. Whoa, that is massive. That must be beautiful. Should we switch? My god, it must be super zoomed in, but look at that lens.
How do I look?
1.4. Let's see. Where's Tina? Oh, I'm too close.
Too close?
Oh wow, it blurs so well.
Really?
Like the bokeh is insane. Like it's at 1.4. Whew, back on the wide angle. It felt kind of weird, to be honest. Ooh, 50mm 1.4. I don't know, it was hunting a lot. I thought it would be a bit better. Ooh, look at that lens, anamorphic, if I'm correct. That's for cinema. That's awesome. Ooh, can we check how it looks like? Wait, is it on? Oh, the way it zooms is so interesting. Look at that. Totally different. The focus and like the zoom in mode. So interesting how it like it's like it's jumping in the picture a bit. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's cool. Ooh, 2470. Who here has a 2470? I really hesitated with that lens to go traveling and for the vlog, but I really went for the 1635 because it's wider, and 24 seems a bit too tight. The advantage of the full frame is to have that super wide angle that you're having right now for the camera, so if I were going back down, not that great. I've seen a few landscape photographers use that 12-24 lens. Let's switch and see how wide that is. Wow, what do you guys think? Is it wide? How wide is that? Is it like ultra wide. Can you see my arm here? Can you see my neighbor? He's over there. Can you see people around me? That's crazy. Let me see. Whoa. There's a huge difference. That's kind of cool. I think if you get like really close to objects, you can have some cool effects. That's great lens for like landscape, definitely. Ooh, cute. This is the lens I was looking at. That what is that? F2 28mm, because you can put adapters to have either fisheye or zoomed in lens a bit more. So let's try on this camera. Oh my god, this is so the lens is so small I can barely hold the camera anymore. That is so funny. F2, how does that feel? How does that look? I can't see. And then you can put the fisheye, which is kind of awesome, even for underwater photography. Back on the wide angle, look. This is the different sizes of sensors. Look, from full frame 35mm to APS-C to like tiny sensors. So in case you're curious, this is the different sizes, and that's why also you pay more for a full frame. More lenses. Oh, those are like manual ones, I think. Whoa, that's so heavy, so heavy. All right, Fujifilm side, and look at that. This is like a camera everyone's talking about, the XH1. It's really big. Anyone has tried it? Look, this is what it looks like. It feels, the handling is pretty good. I kind of think it doesn't look really nice though. It kind of looks super big and bulky, but everyone raves about like the JPEG colors on those cameras, on the Fuji. I'm surprised actually that the lens is that big, to be honest. I'm pretty surprised. Who knows that camera? What is that? GFX50S. Look at the size of that camera. Is that medium format? I don't know. This is so interesting. I've never heard of that camera. If anyone knows what it's all about, let me know. It's written in Japanese. I have no clue what it says. Oh hey, look at that. Panasonic. This is what I've been using for a very long time. The GH5. Great camera, just in like the photos, the dynamic range was like kind of very limited in my opinion. I have to say the 12-60mm lens was actually very practical for vlogging. Like to be able to get that shot a bit deeper without changing lenses was really nice. And what I really love is actually the size of their lenses. Look at that, this is so cute. But even when it's super wide open, like 1.7 on that one, it's still only 3.4 f3.4 equivalent on the full frame camera, and to me that's not enough depth of field, or it's actually too much depth of field for the photos. I don't like it as much. I was just wondering where my friends Olympus were, and they're right here. And I have to say, here in Japan they're pretty popular. They do have cameras that look kind of nice and fashionable, so a lot of like fashion and lifestyle people use those tiny cameras. They're pretty good, but I don't know, I've never like got over the ergonomics of those cameras, because look, you got so many buttons at the top to set it up like the old school film cameras. But personally I didn't like it too much. The handling's a bit weak on my hand. I just prefer to have bigger cameras with like bigger grips in my hand. Funny enough, that's not something you would see Sony do, because I'm pretty sure their gear would fail. I've seen that video, maybe you guys have seen it, where they actually splash different cameras for like 10 minutes and the Sony like totally failed the test. It was kind of sad. Maybe it's only because it's their third version of the camera, and a lot of other brands have like way more years of expertise. What else is there here? Wait, is that the... No. That is so small. Look at that. Seriously, compared to my Mavic Pro, the Mavic Air is so tiny. It's insane. Wow. It's just that size. Now I gotta say, I love my Mavic Pro and it goes pretty far. Never had to complain with signal or anything. I'm not sure I would be able to do the same shots I do on those smaller ones. Oh, memory card paradise. Well, I'm looking for a new memory card, like 64 gig, the fastest possible, because that camera is actually using a lot of buffer when I'm shooting with the 42 megapixel in burst mode. So I'm trying to find something even faster than my Extreme Pro. If you have any recommendation, let me know. I see stuff here, but oh, UHS2 here. It's like $136, and I think I've seen it online, like in the US for like $60, $70, $80. So I don't know. It seems a lot more here. 300 meg, 260. Write and read speed is like 200 meg per second and 260. That's super fast. That's kind of what I need on, I think, on the next memory card. It's gonna solve all the problems. So much stuff I need to get out of here. I'm gonna go crazy and Trina's gonna be like, what are you doing, Pierre? We have the plane to catch and everything. Super curious, if you could choose anything in that shop, what would it be? Maybe a camera, maybe a lens. Let me know what's your dream item you would pick out of that shop. That's the hard drive I use for editing the videos. I just stick it to my laptop and it's super practical because it's a SSD drive and it's tiny. That is not cheap. If you want 2 terabytes, you're gonna pay basically $1,200 for it. They might have some kind of weird taxes, but I have those drives and I pay $140 for them, or $120. Here they're literally $223. Wow, I needed one, but I think I'm gonna pass. Maybe find one at the airport. Definitely something I'm gonna need to invest in is a RAID station like that when I get back home. But right now it's not possible. We're constantly on the road. If you're interested in like how I manage all the files, my process, the workflow, all the hard drives and everything, I can make another video about it. Just let me know. There's so much here to see that's just literally overwhelming. And cameras, you can see so many things. Has any of you ever been to that store or the other one called Big Camera? Do you know which one is biggest or which one you prefer? I'm kind of curious. Right now I'm gonna take you to another location that is world famous here in Tokyo, just to show you how it is around sunset time and when everyone's coming out of work, because it's insane. I'm gonna try to shoot a few photos too, so just stick with me. We're gonna take the metro and see you in a second. Alright, Shibuya, guys, this is like every photographer's, I think, dream to come here. At least it was mine. I came here about 12 years ago, came back this time, and I just love shooting here. Look at the crowd. It's just gonna go through. There's so many people. You've got a guy with a tripod over there, and the 1DX, like all the way at the top of his tripod, walking through. It's kind of cool. Gotta say, I tried to take a shot of Trina. I'm gonna put it on the screen. She's standing here. We'll see how good that looks, but at least I tried. I've seen it a few times done. Just wanted for fun to redo that kind of shot. If you like that video, leave it a big thumbs up. Make sure you share it with your friend. If anyone's coming to Japan, that might be insightful tips. And remember, if you like photography, if you like video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, simply because there's a lot more content coming up like that. 12 countries in 12 months with my wife, and I'm shooting all around the world. So I'll see you in the next episode. Have an amazing day. Bye.